Leave it low.
Hello there, anybody there? Wee Paddy here. How yous doing? Well, very good. Hello there, Trev. How you doing? No, you're not. You're perfectly on time. I'd come on earlier there, and then I had to go off again because I forgot to turn the brightness up on my phone. And where I've got my phone's up here, it's just about eye level, and I couldn't see anything, so I had to go out and come back in again. Hopefully there'll be some more along, or you and me will have a good chat. How you doing? Have you got any new knives this week? Oh, there we go. There's 3. Paul, how you doing? And Trev, I'm doing very well. That's good. If you're in here now and you're going to join in, if you've got any new knives this week, stick them up so I can see what you've got. And that'll come for a wee conversation later, probably. Nice to see you here, Paul. Now, we drop a tea here. Oh, here, coming out. Big John, hello, how you doing? If you've had a new knife this week, Big John, put it up there. Ron, how you doing? Nice to see you. If you've had a new knife this week, stick her up there. Because my conversation this week is a bit of a haul I've had this week. Now, they're not all. A couple of these are not from this week, but I've had 1, 2, 3 absolutely super knives this week, and I want to show them to you. They haven't gone, well, one of them's gone up on the channel briefly, but I'll show them to you once we get a few people in it. Just I'll now let UK PK from Knife Centre. Oh, I'll tell you what, I have fallen in love with this one. This is the one that I bought. It was already customized when I bought it. Newest pieces of Midnight Jack. Absolutely beautiful. I love that purple fat carbon. I didn't get that one. I wish I had done. No, it's beautiful. But I've got the new one out that's coming out this Friday. But this here, the UK PK, I've fallen in love with it again. Because for years, I've had a couple of them, but they never stuck around. But this is just beautiful titanium and this black, whatever they call the wash they put on it. It is stunning. So anybody else had new knives this week? Because we're going to talk about new nice knives. Yeah, Copperlocks is one of my favourite. Nice knives, Ron. Yeah, I've actually only got one Copperlock that I just got a couple of months ago. And I have to say, well, mine's not a Copperlock, it's a Copperhead. Is it? Can't remember now. Now I'm going to have to look. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I think mine's just a... Yeah, mine's just a Copperhead. This is the case Copperhead. The single-bladed one, which I like. Matt, another Heine Haynes drop point. Oh, very nice. Yeah, this Copperhead, I really love it. What a lovely big knife to have in your hand. And I like the single blade. Really do. Just loving this knife from Case. Not the best fit and finish, but it's good enough. Do you know what I mean? I suppose for that price range, it's not great. But anyway, I'm not going to slag Case because I've got a drawer full of really nice cases that I've been really lucky to get and pick up along the way. I haven't got many bad ones. In fact, I haven't got any bad ones there at the minute. Paddy, it's a good looking copper. Yeah, it is nice. It's unusual scale too. Unusual scale. I think I got it in a trade. Did I get it in a trade? No, I got it off Dan over at Blade Bridge Limited. That's where I got it. I bought it off him. Nice wee knife now. And he sold it to me for a very good price, so I can't complain at all. So there's gonna be a few new things that are gonna happen this week. One, there's gonna be a giveaway this week and next week, and then there's gonna be a playoff for them two winners to win something extra the week after. Just a bit of a game. And it's something we've done once before, but I want to expand on it a bit. But I'll wait till we get once we get 15 in, I'll just start talking and the rest can catch up. And the end of the giveaway, you're going to have to leave, well, it's not a comment, but you're going to have to write down below in the description. So do stay, because that'll be later on in the program and I'll go through that giveaway. Now, anybody else got any new knives or waiting for something coming? Else got a new carbon fiber AD 20.5. Oh, Big John, I am jealous. That's one I want to get eventually. I definitely want to get it, because that shark lock just looks amazing. I just haven't got... I've other things in my... Do you know where you get a list of wee things in your head you want to get? And it's probably about 5 or 6, so it could be between now and 2 years. But I'll get one eventually. I got the Twisted Tulip this week. OD G10. It's a fantastic little knife. We're going to talk about it today. I got the new brass scales for mine. I'm just going to carry on talking. I got the new brass scales on this one. Absolutely cracking. And the extra weight really does make a difference. You know, as a pocket dropper, you know it's there, but it's great for cutting boxes. If you've got a bit of a tough thing to get through, that, I don't know what it is, just the copper scale really. And they do them in, no, this is brass, sorry. They do it in copper, and they do all sorts of other. They've got such a great selection. And the wee knife was, for what it was, I thought it was about 50 quid or something. It was right on that limit. But you see with these brass scales on it, I've carried it more this week than before. I absolutely love it. Love it. Got the TSB Badger. I don't know what that is. Is that the one from the UK company, TBS? TBS. I can't remember what it stands for. Remind me again what the TBS stands for. God, I can't remember. It's really in my head. They do lovely bushcraft knives and all, I believe. Anybody got any particular questions we can get out of the way while we're waiting for catch-ups? And while I'm waiting for those, I want to talk a little bit about Who Knives. Bushcraft store. Yes, I thought that was it. Yeah. Yes, I'll have to go and have a look at that. That sounds interesting. But yeah, I've had a few of them years and years ago when I bushcrafted myself. I got stuff from that store. Nice store, nice people to deal with. Yes, I just want to chat a wee bit about Who Knives. I got this, well, I've had two of them. This is the second one. This is the stonewashed version, which I think is the best version ever. Absolutely love it. Great knife. I love this clip. I know people are not keen. I just think the new clip, it's a metal clip rather than titanium, holds in the pocket much better and doesn't slide about all over the knife. And this is a nicer feel. The stonewash is definitely a nicer feel on it. But the sad news is that Carl ran into financial problems, and he's closing down the store. Although I believe now it's going to be for a temporary measure. I think somebody's helped him out financially, and he's going to order his new model, which is not like this. It's a thumb stud model, and I think he's trying to get up the money to get that production going. But he still has a few of these to sell, and he needs to get them sold. So if you're, anyway, post anywhere, but this is titanium, lovely titanium, really rounded over, comfortable in the hand, M390 blade, full flat ground, really beautiful, nice enough, thin enough behind the edge. It's UK legal. I know it's got a flipper, but they're still legal. And it's £135 it was. But at the minute, if you go there, he's took £15 off them. So that brings it down to about 120, and these are rough prices. But there's also, if you go back in my channel and see my review of this one, which wasn't that long ago, there is another discount code for £10 off, which will bring it down to £115 for titanium M390 flipper, and this is a detent knife, double detent flipper knife, legal in the UK. The blade's legal in the UK, and it is just a fidget phenomenon. It just is gorgeous. So if you can, go over and help Carl out. He's one of the community who done it himself. This, you know, this was on his second order, but he got into difficulties. But these are for £110. I don't think there's a better buy out there. Even if you're not in the UK, it really is. Flipper assisted for legal reason. A flipper is assisted. It's not. This was past UK legal. I know Heinekens and all are they don't sell them anymore, but they are still legal. Now I'm going on Carl's word. You can go over and Who Knives, ask him, but he done all the background work on it, and they were UK legal. So and it's a detent, so it's non-locking. So you can go over and check with Carl again. I'm not in any way up to date with the law, but I believe Carl, he's a nice fella, an honest fella. I've known him for a few years. This was past UK legal. Hence he sells it openly on Who Knives. But apart from that, that's up to you, your decision. But anybody, anywhere, for £110, that is a fantastic buy. Yes, and I got my little brass things for my Twisted Tulip, which is, I just think it's the best name for a knife, Twisted Tulip. But they come in all colours now. They've got the G10 in pinks, yellows. There's a whole stack of them there. Great little knife to buy your daughter or something for Christmas, or, you know, one of your boys, buy a blue one. Really nice little knife. Get over to Twisted Assisted and see them. I always say go to Instagram, because you can go anywhere. They've got, you know, a website. You can go anywhere from their Instagram, but you also get to see what they've got going on right now, this day, on Instagram. Now, what else have I got? Yes, I'm going to show you this one first. This is the brand new Jack Wolf knife. Now, I've got it in a lovely green pouch, and there's a reason why I've got it. There's classes of the sliver classes. No, as far as I know, Trevor, no, it definitely doesn't. Where am I? UK low, so yeah, it's hard to know about flippers being like it really is, and that's why I'm saying check with Carl. He'll give you the details of where it's, you know, he got it approved as UK legal, so that's all I can go by. You know, I'm definitely not I can barely fill in my own address. This is the new one. Now, comes with a normal pouch, but look at this green, and you'll see why I picked a green sheath to go with it. Look at this jungle carbon fiber. Is that not just gorgeous? And every way you turn it in the light, it seems to move. A beautiful knife. It's a bigger knife. This is 4 inches closed. This is the biggest knife that he's come out with. It's been one close, but this is the biggest. And look at that. This is the Benny's clip. And this is, it's a takeoff of Tony Bowes, the Lanny's clip. But let me tell you, oh, look at this. I have large hands. I can get a spread out, and a spread out 4 fingers. Beautiful knife with the walk and talk, which has been really common with these. It's just fantastic. It's just beautiful. But now, some of them might be different, but they're all going to be around 10 thousandths behind the edge. That is just an absolute demon, absolutely. And this is an American company got these scales from. The carbon fiber, this jungle carbon fiber. I think it is gorgeous, and it really moves. The black and everything's shiny. But a gorgeous knife. If those of you who can, now they're coming in this jungle, and then there's a bluish coloured one. It's more of a turquoise blue, which is absolutely stunning. And then there's a couple of what do you call that other stuff? God, oh, it'll come to me as I'm going along. So I got that this week, which I'm just over the moon about. I just think it's gone to my top. It's beaten last week's again. And people think I'm joking, but look at that. It's just stunning. And look at the bevel on the edge. 10 thousands behind the edge. It's just my card. I thank you, Big Boy. I'm not the brightest of them all. And very nice to see you here, sir. Really lovely to see you here. So then my card, he's got 2 in my card. I think it's the green and the black. The green, this one, the jungle carbon fiber, and then there's a bluish carbon fiber as well. Yeah, Matt, thank you. God, you all know me too well. You know me too well. And another knife I got this week. This was a given. This is one I traded for. And I traded my Mustang, my GEC Mustang, that I had only just got, that I'd said I'd waited 2 years to get, and then I've traded it. And that's the story of my collection. I got it in my collection. It's a 73. I've got a 74. They're so similar. I like my 74 a bit better. But I seen this and I thought, I've got to have this. So I traded it for this. Now, this was secondhand. It was a light user, and it's the Oregon Trapper. And absolutely stunning. Look at that bone. They call this frontier bone. Hello, Gadget Gus. How are you, sir? Really, there's another nice channel, UK channel, Gadget Gus. Go over and sign up to him. Another great channel. Yes, this is Frontier Bone. Look at the fit and finish. Again, this is from 2018, if my memory serves me right. But the Frontier Bone, I just love it. It goes from milky to caramel to this just really lovely dark. And it's just fabulous. I love it. And it's the only GEC I've got with a lanyard hole in it. And I really do enjoy it. It's nice. Now, I haven't found a lanyard that I want to put in it yet, but that will come. Look at that clip point. I'm telling you, you know I'm a clip point man. Look at them two clip points. Aren't they just to die for? They really is a big work knife. You're right, Ron. It's gorgeous. And I couldn't believe the depth of the blade. It's definitely the deepest of the GEC knives I got. And you look at like the Jack Wolf's knives, not a small knife, but the Oregon Trapper is just that little bit. Look at the difference. So this is 4 inches closed. This is 4 1/4. And look at the extra blade length you get as well. Absolutely love it. So 2 fantastic knives, especially if you're a clip point lover like myself. So I might actually do an even updated on either my Barlows or clip points at some stage this week, if anybody would be interested in that. And we can go back to these and talk about them. Another knife I got, when did I get this? Last night before. This is my mate Dan over at Bladebridge sent me a little present. Look at that. Is that not just beautiful? This is the Grand Prix model. I don't think there was that many of them, to be honest with you. But look at it's got the quarter round Phillips screwdriver on it. I've always wanted a quarter round. So Dan had bought some of these and he sent me this as a gift. It's beautiful. And this one has the slit down the center. And for those of you young bucks out there who don't know that, when you used to get corned beef and things like that in cans, there used to be a wee key in it and you twisted the can open. It opened right round the can. That's what this was for. You could put it on a can of bully beef if you're out camping or whatever and just twist the top of the can off. Absolutely. I have always wanted one of these. So he gave me this one. And the nice thing about it is that that's actually, I don't know whether they press the metal into it, but it is put in absolutely perfect. And the detail on this car is stunning. So I need to find out what the car is so that I can fully review it. But it's stainless steel, I would think, because this is not nickel silver, because at that age it would have been. This is probably 70s. I'm not sure when in the 70s, early, late, but I think early, as far as Dan was able to tell. But it's just an absolute beauty. There's another nice thing it has in it, which I just love these. I've been starting to use these on my, just when I'm working about in the shop here, in my wee bedroom in the caravan. Look at that beautiful file, not only for doing your nails, but this is a wood file, and then this as a little metal file. It's just gorgeous, and it's unused. Most of the knife is unused. The blade has seen a few cuts, and there's a lovely pair of scissors on it. Look at that lovely big pair of scissors. Beautiful. So a lovely knife. The Grand Prix, I'd never heard of it until Dan gave it to me as a wee present. So over the moon with that. I'll do a review on that this week. There'll definitely be a review on that. We've actually got Ben from Jack Wolf Knives coming on Tuesday night to do a podcast. And if we can just do it a straight through one, we'll put it up on Tuesday night, but it's probably going to be Wednesday night before it goes up. But he's going to be talking about this new knife, and I want to ask him questions about the design and how he changed it up. So I look forward to that. Do that scissors not age a knife? Trev, they probably do, but I don't know when the ages was. I've only just started in these knives, in the sack knives. I'm not long into them, so I haven't had the time and sit down to read a whole lot, but I believe it's 70s, and I think it was dated on the back tools. The only other back tool is the owl with no hole in it. And oh, here, this is it. This is the one it's dated on. It has the little screwdriver, and apparently there's a different shape one. Sometime in the 70s it changed over to another shape, but this is beautiful. I mean, I don't use flatheads much at all. The only place I tend to find now is in old plugs, so to have that on there is just fantastic about the house. I just love it. Really do love it. Really love it. But yeah, I mean, Victorinox is just the history of their knives and when they changed over to this and that is just a melting pot. At the minute, I'm not that far into them, if that makes any sense. But I mean, I'm really enjoying them, but I haven't got into the history yet. I just love them as tools. I'm saying that I've got about 40 of the blooming things that I bought in the space of about 2 months. Very addictive. I've had to slow down because I was just buying. Oh, I like that, buy it. So, and I was getting them from Dan, who sells them cheap. So, you know what I mean? It was great. So, any questions from you lot? It's a minefield age. Yeah, it really is, Trevor. I have no idea. I want to get the Victorinox books, but as you say, I think they're normally really expensive. But I think it's probably with the amount I've got now, I probably should just get a book and bite the bullet, and it will do me. Anybody else got any questions? Can we drink a tea? Stick a question up. What's your favourite size sack? It is either this size here, which is the 84 or 85. No, this is, no, where is it? Hang on. There it is. I think this one's the 84 and this one's the 85, and this is just bigger scales. But this would probably be my favourite. This was a custom made, and I carry it more than any other, to be honest with you. But this one is a beautiful, this is a Wenger. And you know, it's the only one I've seen with Wenger wrote on here. It's like, it's not burnt or anything. It's raised, this Wenger. But I've never seen another Wenger with it. Not that I've got great experience. But this is the 85mm, I think. I just love this. And absolutely beautiful. I have one with a corkscrew. And then I have another one. Another one with the screwdriver. But they are two little beauties. Easy to carry. Trevor, you see, if you go to Blade Bridge Limited, he has actually got some in at the minute. So, and they're really reasonable prices. And he does, I mean, he'll do ones that are nearly new, and then sometimes he gets a few that are a bit used. He has a rating system. Most of it, well, nearly all of his good ones are, he rates them 8 to 9 out of 10, and then he maybe goes 6 or 7 for the lesser ones. But he'll do them all up and he'll sharpen them. He puts them in the ultrasonic machine. He's really good. What's the shop name? It's Blade Bridge Limited on Instagram. And speak to him. He answers usually really quickly, and he usually have something for you. If not, just get him. Did you get that list of suggestions for the podcast? Big John, I did, and I'm going to talk about that definitely. In fact, we may as well start now. I hope you have been watching our podcast. We've had a ball doing the podcast. We done one this week and we had to scrap it. That's the first one. It was terrible. And like we really are only learning. None of us have ever done anything like this. And we made a podcast. We talked for about 2 hours on Tuesday night, and it was terrible. We were like flies in the sky. We just kept jumping all over the place. There was no rhythm to it. It wasn't even a coherent conversation, but that's what we do when we get on the phone together before we done the podcast. But I have to say it didn't work out, so we just had to scrap it. And we'll do another one hopefully this week. We've got Ben coming on, and that one will be up about Wednesday. And then we'll do one for ourselves, but I think I know it's silly. We always said we didn't want to structure it, but I think you have to have some sort of structure to make a podcast work. Great, Aaron. Thank you so much. We've really enjoyed doing it, but I think we just have to be a bit more tight in how we keep the conversation. Forrest Whitaker's left eye. What a great name, Forrest. I'm impressed. What kind of knife? Oh, sorry, missed that. Sorry, it'll come back up again when it comes. I don't touch these things or I lose everything. Yes, what was it? Yes, the podcast. I've done a separate wee video where I asked for questions. What kind of knife did you use to... Oh, can't get that at all. Big John, let me just go back. Could I use to cut the fart I smell? It stinks here. Well, do you want to know something? Let me just get you here a wee second. Where is that? How do I get rid of that? Stupid prat. Remove. There you go. Bye-bye. So, there's Forest Away. I thought it was a nice name. Do you ever have coherent conversations? That's probably the best statement of the day. Very rarely. I am just madly all over the place in life, as in podcasts and live casts. I find these absolutely so difficult to do. You need someone whose job it is to keep on. I have, and what do you call them? Showed me how to do it, and I really need to do it. I need a moderator, so I'll have to get that sorted out. Thankfully, I don't get many. I had that 1 week, and that's the first one since it. But there's so many people that are just stupid. They sit in the house, and they just want to ruin other people's fun. But how can you ruin this when you've got this about? You can't. But I'm amazed I managed to do that really quickly. Aren't you amazed? See, I'm talented. So yes, the podcast. We put another one up asking for ideas, and boy, did we get some great ideas! And every one of them will be followed up at some stage. I'm just keeping a list of them. Tech I whiz Paddy. Oh, John, you've no idea how far from the truth that is. But one of the ones I just wrote down here is just one. And John, if it's not, I can't remember whose it is. Somebody had asked, they wanted to have a brief history of the Sheffield knife industry, when it sort of started. And got a GC, and unfortunately I love it. I'm so glad the very is very big enough. Now I have got a 15 cent. Absolutely brilliant. Well done. I'm really glad it's working out for you. Yes, the question was, could you have a brief history of the Sheffield knife making industry? We just had a British knife maker on, and God, Harrison. Ashley Harrison on a podcast, which I really enjoyed. I hope you did. The other thing is, I've been doing a wee bit of research on that, and I think I could condense it down to maybe 5 or 10 minutes, a brief history of the Sheffield knife industry. Would that be something you'd be interested in? I know I am. I'm looking forward to doing that wee bit of research on it. And I think we're going to have a program where each program will probably do one of the questions that's been asked in the previous one or the one before that. We're going to try and get around to everybody's questions. So at the bottom of this, if you've got any questions you want to come up in the podcast, once I upload it, let me upload it first before you put it down in the questions, because these questions here don't come out. So if you've got any questions, put them after I upload it. Put the questions down. What do I like as a cooking knife? A cooking knife. Open L are just fantastic. If you want to do fine cutting, Open L are absolutely fabulous. I have a Thurs knife. There's a French brand, a Thurs knife that I use for eating my steaks. But it's a bone handle. It's a beautiful steak knife. I just love it. Sits by my chair. That's why it's not here. But in the kitchen, I actually bought a couple of Open L kitchen knives, little small knives, which are absolutely fantastic. I do have a big, the wooden handle, the old wooden handle ones. What do you call them to make? Somebody will come in there. It's the old wooden handle, like a big butcher's knife. It's about 7-inch long blade. They do all shapes and sizes. What's it called? A really old sort of American brand. Gone out of my head. But yeah, my kitchen knives, it's shameful. I haven't invested much money in kitchen knives at all. I'm just tight. Old Hickory, Paul, you are a genius. Well done. Yes, the Old Hickory. I've got a big Old Hickory, which is really just a big heavy butcher's knife. It's great, but it cuts up. But other than that, there's only 2 of us in the house now, so it's usually just a small paring knife we're using for any of our cooking, for peeling spuds, anything like that. We use a paring knife or an Open L. I have a just open L kitchen knives. They're just so thin and slicey that just why spend the money? I don't believe in. We're not great cooks, if that's another good thing. We're not great cooks, and we're not big foodies, if that makes it. That's probably better. So, any knives down here you would like to talk about, or see the poor man? Oh no, 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 no! I'm not poor. I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. I'm rich in spirit and friends. I just have a cleaver. Yeah, I've got a cleaver as well. In fact, I've got two cleavers, one in the kitchen and one in my bushcraft bag, because that's what I used to delimb trees. And it was a really good one. And it's just, I use it for delimbing trees when I was bushcrafting. And I still keep it in my bag in the back of the car that I use when we go out and have a wee stove in there, a wee wood stove. We'll stop at the side of the road somewhere and have a cup of tea. I still do things like that. I like doing that sort of thing. What's the little gold guy in the middle? This is the Twisted Tulip. Yes, I know. Oh, God, that bounced back well. Always keep your finger out of the way. This is the Twisted Tulip from Best Tech. It's a little detent knife. Lovely little Kuradashi type thing. But it's great for opening boxes. I always take my fingers out of the way when I'm opening boxes because of the detent. They're not strong. Most detent knives aren't. But I use it for opening boxes, and I just hold it like that. With this brass on it, it's heavier, and it just feels really good for getting through boxes and whatever. Love it. Really do love it. But they've lots of the copper and they've all sorts. That's Twisted Assistant on Instagram. I'll put them down below. But again, don't worry, it'll not be down until I upload the video. So, anybody got anything else they want to see? Please, somebody ask me about this. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Invisible. What do you think of that? Let me give you a size on that. I can't wait to do the review on this. I haven't even done the review. I try to keep something for Sundays now that people who bother to turn up will get to see something first. This is 7 5/8 long, which is big for a pocket knife, it's big for a traditional knife. It's about 4 1/4 of the handle, and like large hand, fully open. I mean, I could close up and hold it there and have another finger there. What's the shit? No problem, my friend. But opening these two knives are proper work knives. This being the Jack Wolf knives, proper work knives. But this one is just heavy. When I say heavy, how heavy is heavy? Again, I don't do much measurements. It's only too heavy if I have to walk around in circles when it's in my pocket. Now, let me just get this on, and I haven't even weighed this myself. No idea what weight it is. 4. Oh, that's grams. 109. I don't know grams. Ounces. Well, they are 3.85. So just under 4 ounces. Absolutely super. Sheath in my pocket all day long. Wouldn't worry about it. But it's the bone I really like, Frontier bone. Never had Frontier bone, but it reminds me of that sort of colour of Appaloosa bone. I used to have an Appaloosa bone. No, I haven't got one now. Have I got one over here? No, I used to have an Appaloosa bone knife. But I just love it. And I actually love the titty out shield when it's on like this. I really do like that. I think it looks really smart. But this was pretty black when I got it. It was a user. I knew it was a user, but the thing that you also know is it's probably been more used for food, and you get the extra staining with food because there's next to no blade missing, if any. I give it a quick wee sharpen, and it's in mine. You can see there's mottled on it, but that's the joy of a carbon knife. I love that. But I'll put my own food filth and everything else on this myself. I like to have it my own, and so that'll go. You'll notice that changing colour very rapidly because it's going to be my heavy use user, without a doubt. And like you're talking about the kitchen, I would use this in the kitchen because I can. If that makes any, I don't mean to seem cheeky, but these are just beautiful knives to use in the kitchen when I'm cutting up steak or beef to put in a stew. Absolutely amazing. Again, nice and thin behind the edge because it's a traditional. But this 10,000s behind the edge, and in some parts it was 8,000s. So just unbelievable. Confirm. I did see plenty of it. That one amazing. Confirm I did see the hashtag. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Somebody's watching my kitchen cooking, I'm telling you. Um, but yes, so I'll use something like that, And the other thing, this is people ask you what do you use your knives for. This is probably one of my. I cleaned it all up again, and I haven't been using it. I'm going to go back to it. I used to use this for peeling my potatoes, so I'll maybe do a review of this peeling potatoes this week. This is a number 78 pattern. I love this pattern. Again, 4-finger grip, lovely flat grind blade, beautiful for doing your tatties. Absolutely beautiful. And do you know, I see Rough Rider brought out a tatty knife, but they've got the big blooming R on it, and I can't make myself buy it. I really wanted the knife for the name, but that big R, I can't buy them anymore. I just don't like them anymore. But yes, this one is really lovely behind the edge for cutting. Is that the Twisted Tulip? Yes, it is. It's in the brass scales. I got an upgrade. James sent me the brass scales to put on it. I had the red ones, if you remember. They were originally white. I dyed them red, and now I've got the brass on. And the extra weight is fantastic, especially if you're cutting cardboard. It just gives that extra feeling of, is it security? I mean, I'm comfortable with non-locking knives because I've used them all my life, but just a feeling of security in this is beautiful. He does copper, brass, and then for goodness sake, all the other colours. If I could talk without using my hands. Did I hear somebody saying Junesy there? Somebody said Junesy, which is another, sorry if you're outside the UK, this is another UK Twisted Assisted. I'll tell you a bit about them. James is coming on the podcast very soon, so he'll be a really interesting person to talk to. Twisted Assisted buy knives from other brands, but get them to do something different so that you get they're only sold here in the UK. This is a Twisted Assisted, but it's the Best Tech Junesy in a cheaper version. It's D2 and micarta or G10, and I think they've got copper and brass for this as well. They've them all on their site. They're only bought through this. These ones that I'm showing you are only bought through Twisted Assisted. They also do, if you're ever buying a knife, I don't know, like these are tarot cards, but not tarot cards as in you would sit as a witch and use them. No, the Tulip, this is just a UK version. It's literally just a detent. What they also do, I think this is fantastic. They call them tarot cards, but they're not tarot cards. They're just cards in that same shape, but they do all sorts of different ones. And you can buy one and get it with your knife, and they've a whole set of them. I'm not sure how much they cost. I think it's about maybe £3, I'm guessing. But they're on the site. He has a few lovely things on his site. Go on and see them. This is just another fantastic knife. It's got a pocket clip if you like pocket clips. On this one, I quite like it. It's a wee chunky monkey. Well, it's not that thick, but it's a lovely D2 blade. Again, 4-finger. This pocket clip is really good. There's no hot spot on it for me. And we're all different with our hands. So, yes. But they have some cracking ones of these. Love them. Did you see the one that Ben put out this month with the knife? Oil the Judge. This is Ben. You can see his hat there and his sunglasses. It was just a bit of a take on himself. He just took a bit of mickey out of himself. And I'll show you the tin, which will make more sense. The Benny's clip, and it's his grandfather, Jack Wolf, and that's Benny Boy standing beside him. I nearly wet myself when I opened the tube, because I knew it straight away what it was meant to be. Now, proper full hand practical word. Yeah, great, absolutely. It is just a joy. Hi, Paddy. The brother F0012 is strong. Can't think what the F0012 is off the top of my head. The only sort of brother I've got at the moment, because I keep giving them away, is I have this one here, which is another. This is the 1516. Lovely clip point blade, and this is, it's non-locking, and the cutting edge is 3 inches, so it's UK legal. Again, you have to use your own discretion. The cutting edge is what it says in the law, but policemen can sometimes say different. Again, my get out is I'm an old man, and very very rarely am I going to get stopped by the police, so I don't care. The brother that sent you brother. Oh, you got the one from me. Lovely. I love these. Brother knives are fantastic. They've been sending me knives longer than any other company. And just every now and then I'll get 3 or 4 knives turn up. And I always do reviews on them. I use them for giveaways because they are fantastic. And when I get another new batch when they come in, this will go in the giveaway pile. Do you know what I mean? And I've got a giveaway today. Do you want me to tell you about the giveaway? Not many make the purchase of a knife more than the event that Ben does with a Jack Wolf knife. Big John, Ben is so out there. He just loves it. He's really keen on promoting it. He likes putting his face out there. He'll answer any question you ask him. If you watch our podcast with him, he's just a font of information too. Very intelligent man, but he's a real knife lover because I met him before the knife. We used to be on sort of chat shows in the American YouTube. So I've known him for quite a while now, and just a real genuine guy with a huge collection of GEC, Pena, Chris Reeves. He's got a massive collection, and absolutely he is a collector. Although he was saying in that podcast, at the minute he hasn't bought a knife and he couldn't remember how long because he's been so busy doing these. I mean, he's got a year in advance. He's done 6. He's another 6 months planned ahead. And I'm sure with Ben, the plans just keep going. But yeah, he'll come on and talk about, I want to ask him about the knife, what drew him to make that certain shape. It's got a real big belly, and then it's got that sort of upswept, although it's not upswept, the belly drops and then it just sort of comes up to a point. The center line is right there. It just makes it such a lovely, comfortable knife. But it's nice to be on a podcast and get to ask them the questions. If you've got any questions you want me to ask Ben, please put them down below. Once I upload this onto YouTube, put it on it, and I'll ask him the question you ask me. And there's nothing nice to be able to ask questions that are relevant, that somebody wants to know the answer to. Okay, this is another thing that I got about 2 weeks ago. I've been so busy with videos, I haven't got around to do it. This is the Through Night T1S. This is fantastic, and this is in the giveaway. I'll not be sending it out till next Sunday. I'll draw the giveaway winner because I have to do the review for it this week. At some stage, have to. But this is only about a £26 knife on Amazon. And for £26, this is absolutely stunning. Comes in the usual 3-night box. And you get the charging cable. You get the little note that tells you it's easy to work. The best thing about this little knife is this. You hold it down for 3 seconds and it comes on in Firefly. And isn't that, I never want a light coming on full. But after Firefly, let me just get this. It'll go to there, and there you are. 2 clicks and it goes right through the modes. And then if you double click on top of that, you get the extra bright modes, which is 1200 lumens in a £26 pocket carry little flashlight. Lovely clip, can go in your cap or just on your trousers. Rechargeable battery comes with it, so you're going to get this as it is. It's brand new. The only thing I've done with it is do testing, but it's very, very simple. And when you go through the lights, if you hit 3 clicks, you go straight to the flashing light. But it's amazing, and the run times on it are just, I don't want to go through that all here now. I'll do that in the review. I'll do the review and I'll show it at the caravan during the week. But to enter into this one is just for the European. Now, don't get upset. Wait till I finish the sentence. This one is for Europe because of the battery, and it's quite bulky, and I just want to send this one. So if you're in Europe, to enter in for this, when I upload this video onto YouTube, go on and I want a knife joke. So whoever gives me the best knife joke, and it's my pick. So this is in Europe. The best knife joke will win this flashlight. As I say, it'll come in the box, battery and all in it, leads in it, everything you need, and you will get that. Next Sunday, I'll do the draw for that. Best joke. Next week, I'm going to do one for the Americas, with the rest of the world, basically. The rest of the world can have this. This is a, what makes this one? This is a Tailor's Eyewitness. And it's a beautiful old knife. You can see the crackling on the scales if you get it up close enough. But it's a two-bladed pen knife, probably about 100 years old, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. It's not perfect because it's 100-year-old, and it's, you know, it's the scales are pliable as such, but a really great work knife, super little knife, that serpentine design with a Wharncliffe and a little pen blade. I've sort of cleaned it up as much as I ever want to clean an old knife up, but listen to that snap. It's an absolute treat. So next week on the podcast, this is going to be for the rest of the world to tell me a joke. And because I want these jokes to take onto the podcast, that I can do one a week sort of thing, just as a wee, here's tonight's joke, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm a bit weird. So that will be next week for the rest of the world. And this one is for Europe this week. And that's the way I'm sort of going to do my, it's going to be different challenges of questions, because that's the only way to get you to do it. Because a lot of people don't put questions down, and they're so important on a podcast to have live questions from people. So that's this week. If you're in Europe and you want this beautiful little through night flashlight, but they're on Amazon at about £26. That is phenomenal for 1200 lumens and a real easy flashlight to use. I hate the complicated ones. I have another one of these actually it's in aluminium, but it's in a copper look. I'll actually give you the choice next week whether you want it's not copper, but I think it's aluminium, but it's a copper look one, exactly the same. You can pick whichever one you want, and I'll send that out to you. So I've got my 1.7 inch. Oh, somebody must be talking there. That's great. I love to see you talking in the box down below. Well, I'll answer any questions if you've got them, folks. If you want to see any other knife in my collection, I have them all about me here. I'm in my wee office, the caravan. If there's anything you want to see or any questions you want to ask, are you happy enough with this for Europe? And the other wee knife is a British-made knife going to the rest of the world. Thought that filled up. I spent about the same price on them. You're not getting an over-expensive knife. They're both about the same. I think this is about £30 off Etsy. So if there's no more questions, I shall bid you all a big thank you for coming along. Really enjoyed your company. Enjoyed the little larynx let out for a Sunday. What's the knife on the right side of the flashlight? That's this one. This is the Who knives. Do you have any recommendations for British knives like Twisted, Assisted, and Who? Yes, the Who's on sale now. I'm not going to go through that whole thing again, but if you go back, do you have Otter Messer? Yes, I do. Otter Messer. Where is my Otter Messer? No idea. It must be in here. There we go. I have the old sailor's knife from Otter Messer. Beautiful knife. Yes. Who knives? Twisted, Assisted. That's a great one for UK knives. I have got 1, 2. I have another one from them, haven't I? Maybe not. But they've got more coming. I have this one, which is just fantastic. Showed that earlier on. Non-locking, forward choil, completely safe. D2, and my Carter scales are D2. They've got scales at just a giveaway price for either of these knives. I'll leave that sitting there. That's another question answered. Yes, I have this Otter Messer. I love this knife. I've had this for years. It's just a really good work knife. It really is. None of you want to do pokey jobs so much, but you can tear with it. It's not. I don't stab much anyway in my daily life, but even a cement bag, you can tear that open with that, no problem. Beautiful knife. Lovely, well-made German knife in Sleipner steel, which is a great German stainless steel. Absolutely fine for everyday use. Doesn't hold an edge for long, but then they don't charge a lot for their knives. They don't charge a lot. Somebody had, oh no, I'm going to leave that to review. British, somebody asked me about other British knives, non-locking. Here's another one. Well, it's not a British knife, but I'm going to recommend it anyway. Hello, 1 minute review. We're about to finish, but if you've got a question, fire it in. This is a Ace. This is the Giant Mouse Ace, and this is the Farley, which is a stunning knife. M390, my Carta. not a big knife, but for this sort of knife, I can sneak up on there even just to get all my 4 fingers on. And it's really comfortable. It comes with a deep carry pocket clip, wire pocket clip. I took it off. I just throw this in my pocket. UK legal. Framer Knives sells them. They're the dealers in the UK for these knives here. About £150, but really, really worth it if you want that M390 micarta. Very well engineered knife. Absolutely beautiful. Half stop. Gorgeous knife. Use this all. You can tell by the colour. This was nearly light green when I got it. It's nearly black now. I use it so regular. So there we go. Right. Is there any more for any more? If not, boys, thank you so much for coming along. Again, if you're in Europe and you want to win that little flashlight, when I upload this video, make sure you put in a knife joke. Must be a knife joke. The 3-rivet knife was always too big for me, to be honest with you. Good afternoon, John. Take care. Paddy, what knife is going to be your next knife? I don't even think I have one ordered. I've that many to review, to be honest. I haven't seen my next knife yet, but I know it's going to be a budget knife. I'm just hoping Rough Rider are going to come out with something else without the big R, because I want to start collecting them again without the big R. I still love Rough Rider knives. I genuinely love them. I just think they're fun. I just hate that big R. Thank you very much, Dynexto, if that's the right way to say that. Very nice of you to come along. Don't recognize your name, but please come back. Again, if you're leaving, if you would hit me a like or a subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. Big John, thanks very much for coming along, mate. Really appreciate it. Yeah, leave a like and a subscribe. If you're not subscribed, really will help the channel. Take care now. All the way. Paddy's away. Bye-bye now.